Good morning, all. It is Tuesday, February 8th. Wow. It's been a week since we started these. Hope you're doing well. I've had a workout this morning. I rode the bike. The bike is on a trainer, and I had a workout with a personal trainer who I try to work with frequently, but over the last month or so, I haven't seen him much because I've been recovering from the virus, which has been golly, when was it? Probably the 17th. It was on a Sunday of January. I started feeling a little sick. I started feeling a little achy and was in bed for 3 days and tested positive on the following Friday, which was the 21st. So what's here, I'm going to talk about some things that may make some people feel a little uncomfortable, but it's a fascinating, I think it's a really fascinating conversation to have, because as we're as we work to, this is me, as I work to do heart-focused breathing and activate emotions of love, care, compassion, curiosity, as I work really hard to do that every day, I sometimes find that there are situations where I don't feel loving and kind and I feel judgment creeping in, or I feel fear creeping in. And I know at those times it's really important for me to go inside, activate heart-focused breathing, and simply experience what's happening. And so I want to talk about my personal experience with, I'm still a little chugged up in my lungs, but I've made a full recovery. I've done almost a full recovery. I've done all the protocols. I've done everything I'm supposed to do. And I feel really good, really strong. And so here's what I want to talk about. I mentioned this on a Zoom call the other day, because when I tell people that I had come down with this, there's the first question is always, are you vaxxed? Or what status are you? And so there are three responses. And I'm talking about this because I want to see what it brings up in you, because I know what it brings up in people. And if I tell you I have the double shot or the single J&J, and then what happens in their response is, I know this because I see it. What happens in their response is, but not the booster, which is, well, at least, and then they're saying in their mind, well, at least I have the booster, or, golly, I'm the same, double, maybe I should get the booster so I don't get it. So that answer, double shot, single J&J, brings up a little bit of fear, right? A little bit of fear, a little bit of, If I tell people I don't have any, this is the second one. I've not taken any shots for whatever personal reason I have. They say, yeah. So, and then there's all kinds of anger, which is how dare you, and you deserved it. And in fact, you deserve to die. And you're the reason it's still active. And there's all the judgment around that, which is what the media is telling us all. If I tell you that I'm fully double shot and boosted, then what happens? Then there's still fear and confusion, because then there's like, and you still got it? Well, maybe I should go get triple or quad boosted. And there's confusion, and you still got it, and at least you're okay, and at least you have it. And so I bring those three things up because when I walk about my daily life, and over the last couple of years, I've worked really intentionally to do heart-focused breathing, to do other heart math techniques that actually bring in and radiate regenerative emotions. So we talk about in heart math, regenerative and depleting emotions, not positive and negative emotions, because all emotions is information. So they either are regenerative, lift us up, love, joy, compassion, curiosity. That's not really an emotion, but appreciation, gratitude, or they deplete us, which are fear, anger, rage, judgment. All of those emotions are depleting. When I talk about regenerative or depleting emotions, we know that, I could teach a class on how that's affecting our physiology and how it literally is filling our tank up or draining our tank down. And when I talk about the tank, it's the amount of energy that we have to go forth in our day and be productive, loving, kind citizens. It's like when you're stuck in traffic. Okay, let me give an example. If you didn't sleep at night, you couldn't go to sleep, you were up till 2, you sleep through your alarm, you wake up at 8, you have a meeting at 8:30, you're rushing out the door, you didn't get your coffee, or if you did, you left it on the counter, and you get out in traffic and somebody cuts you off. What's your level of compassion and response to them? Versus if you get a full 8 hours or whatever feels good to you, and you get up an hour and a half early, you're leisurely, you get your coffee, you get your shower, and you get your coffee and you take it with you, and you're sitting in your car, you leave at 7:45 for your 8:30, and someone cuts you off, you respond very differently. And that's how what I refer to as our tank. When our tank is full, we react to respond differently than when our personal tank is empty. When we're just hanging on by a thread and somebody says the wrong thing, boy, that can set us off. Versus if we're fully recharged, like a cell phone battery, if we're fully recharged, we respond and react differently. And so these heart math techniques affect our physiology and can help us fill up our tank, have a higher tank. If we're doing heart focused breathing and there's 15 different techniques that can be used at different times. If we're doing those on a regular basis, we start our day with a more full tank than we would otherwise. So when I talk about increasing our baseline, these techniques increase our baseline. It's the baseline of this isn't heart math, but it's how full our tank is every morning. If I used to start at a half a tank, now if I do heart math on a regular basis, I might start at 3/4 of a tank. And of course, I always want to start at a full tank because that's just set up for a great day. So anyway, that's what was kind of bubbling on my heart and mind today about how do we have curiosity, compassion, and not judgment, and because those are depleting emotions. Those, and I didn't mean to, but this is interesting too, because this is an old pattern of mine where I want people to feel really comfortable, and so I don't talk about or bring up things that will make people uncomfortable. And I can tell when people are uncomfortable because we know now why. I was going to say, I don't know why, but we know why, because we're in each other's energy bubbles. And so this conversation today could make some people uncomfortable because I talked about a really controversial thing. I talked about the virus. I talked about vaccinations. I didn't talk about any politics, but it's all really related. And so today's challenge and opportunity is to really think about the judgments that we have. And even if it's like the religious differences, like way back, I don't even know my history really well, but there used to be such persecution. And if I'm one religion and you're another, that gave me justification to do really bad things to you. And that is just the worst ever. We are humans. We have free will. We have the ability to make our own decisions. And what hurts my heart is when someone makes a decision that is right for their soul, that is right for their psyche, that is right for them at that moment in time, because we all know that we can change our minds. that they get persecution and judgment for that decision. Whether it's, I'm going to take this really great job that pays a lot of money, or I'm going to work at Walmart, or work at a super high paying job and a super low paying job. Some families would value one over another. I'm going to go to college, or I'm not going to go to college. There's no right or wrong that I can impose on you, nor is there any reason for me to have judgment against you or for you for one decision that you make over another. Even though I think something may be right? We grow up with these thoughts of and beliefs of, well, I'll give an example. Well, I know that going to college is the right thing to do. You have to go to college. Well, no, actually, people don't need to go to college. And this was something that I don't know why I brought that up. I think I saw a video this morning of somebody talking about college versus not college. It really makes no difference. What it makes a difference for is the person who's making that choice. And if we say, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're going to go to trade school instead of college, what does that do for them? That makes them question. It makes them feel a little angry or frustrated, maybe like I've let people down, or they may just say, screw you, you're not in my life anymore, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So anyway, I'm being super aware today of the judgments that I carry around. And when I catch myself feeling judgment, even if it's about, I can't believe that guy cut me off on the highway, instead of saying, dang you, saying, I hope everything's okay. He's driving awfully fast. I hope that nobody's in the hospital. I hope he's not driving to an emergency situation. And sending love, being in that heart-focused breathing, being in that coherent state where we can have compassion and love for other people because they're expressing their free will, or and most importantly, that we're not imposing our beliefs on other people. So anyway, that's what was bubbling today. I hope that you're all doing very well today, and have a great Tuesday. Big hugs to you all, and a lot of love to the world. Bye-bye.